Hello everybody, welcome to the second of our series of webinars. The first series talked about trend lines and moving averages, and I got a very good response from that, and I got a lot of appreciation, and that is why I'm continuing with this series of webinars. This webinar will talk about Fibonacci series. Fibonacci was a mathematician who came out with his own series, and we'll talk more about it in this webinar. Now he started with he said that in the Fibonacci series a particular number is the sum of the previous two numbers. So he started with two basic numbers 0 and 1 and just added those two to get the next number, which is 1, added 1 and 1 together to make 2, 1 and 2 together to make 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, and so on. He just added the two numbers and came out with the next number. As we go further in the series, we get numbers 855, 89, 144, 233, 377, and it doesn't stop there, it continues up to thousands of numbers. Now I've got a small table here in which I've taken the first 15 numbers of the Fibonacci series. I've got two columns. In the first column I've divided one number by its previous number, and in the second column I've divided one number by its next number. So as we go down in the series 34 onwards, you can see that if I divide one number by the next number, I get an answer equal to 1.618. If I divide one number by its previous number, by its next number, I get an answer equal to 0.618. So that you can already see that one number is it is not 1.68 times, it is 1.618 times its previous number, and 0.618 times the number which succeeds it. Now each number is 1.618 times its previous number and 0.618 times its next number. Very interesting property is that if you multiply 0.618 by 1.618, you get an answer equal to 1. Now Fibonacci series is found in nature too. It is not only a series which Fibonacci came out with. He basically came out with because it started all from the nature. He could see it in the fruitlets of a pineapple, in the flowering of an artichoke, an uncurling fern, arrangement of a pine cone, breeding of rabbits, spirals of shells, florets in a sunflower head, and the stock markets. He said if it is available in everywhere, it should be applicable in the stock markets also, because stock markets move in a particular there has to be some system in which the stock prices move. So he applied the Fibonacci series to stock markets and came out with this very interesting observation. Now I got this source from Wikipedia. I suggest you do a Fibonacci series search on Wikipedia and you can read a lot about it on Wikipedia. Now as we go forward, one application of Fibonacci series is that you can easily convert kilometers to miles if it is a Fibonacci number. So we all know that 1 mile is equal to 1.609344 kilometers and 1 kilometer is equal to 0.6213712 miles. So these numbers are very close to Fibonacci numbers of 1.618 and 0.618. So if we want to convert a Fibonacci numbers from kilometers to miles or vice versa, it is very easy to do so. It may not be very precise, but it is quite easy. So 13 miles is approximately 21 kilometers, or to be very precise, it is 20.92, and 55 kilometers is approximately 34 miles, or if you want it very precise, it's the 34.17 miles. Now in the stock market, 61.8% and 161.8%, which is nothing but 0.618 and 1.618, they hold prime importance. The rest of the Fibonacci ratios are just derivatives of these two numbers. Now let's see how we derived them. Now 100 minus 61.8 is 38.2, 61.8 minus 38.2 is 23.6, 100 minus 23.6 is 76.4, 161.8 plus 100 is 261.8, and if you add 161.8 to 261.8, you get 423.6. So all these numbers, 38.2, 23.6, etc., these are Fibonacci numbers which are greatly used in the stock markets. Now at this point I would also like to mention that even Elliott waves make a uh, use of the Fibonacci series. Now I've got the chart of the Nifty here. I would like to take a couple of examples of Fibonacci. Now if we take this rise here in Fibonacci, what we basically do is we connect a high to a low or a low to a high and try to predict where the market should find support. Sorry. Now if we take this rise from here to here, we can see that when it is coming down, it should find support at one of the Fibonacci numbers. Didn't find support at 23.6, found support at 38.2%, went up, found resistance at 23.6, went up, found resistance near where it all started, and finally broke through it. I'll take a couple of more examples also. Now let's take this example over here. Yeah, this rise from here to here. Now if we connect the low to the high, we can see that when it started coming down, it first found support near the 61.8% level, went up, found resistance near 38.2, came down. Now one of the numbers is not here, I'll have to add it here, 76.4. So it found support near the 76.4% level, went up, found resistance near 38.2, support near 61.8, and finally went up. I'll take a couple of other examples also. If we go back into time, let's take this rise over here. Market started rising from this point, went up to this point. When we connect this, we see that it found support at the 23.6 levels 3 times. Finally it broke through it, went back above it, came back down, found support near the 61.8% level, went up, found resistance near 38.2, support at 50, resistance at 38.2, then again resistance at 23.6, and finally one time it found resistance near where it all started and finally broke through it. I've got another interesting example, which is here. Now this time we are going to see a example of a downtrend where we connect the high to the low. Market started falling from here, went up, went down to make this low. We connect these two. We saw that it found resistance near 50%, went back up, found resistance near 61.8, found support near 38.2, finally came down to 23.6, and one time it even touched where it all started. 920 is the level which we all remember 6 years back. Now in this example, I would just like to compress the chart a little bit so that it all becomes a little clearer. Now you can see here when it started rising, it finally found resistance at the 423.6% level, which is the sum of 161.8 and 261.8. So you can see how important these numbers are. I'll take just one last example. I don't have too much of time now because I can't make too long a webinar. It occupies a lot of space. Yeah, fine, we'll take this quick example. Connect this high to this low. We found found resistance near 50%, again resistance near 61.8%, support here, and it is all a game of Fibonacci series. So it is very important. I hope you will learn many lessons from it and you can use it in your own chart analysis also, and I'm sure it will help you a lot. Now if you like this webinar, you can leave your comments on the blogspot, and if I get a good response, I'll continue with these series of webinars, and we'll take it from there.